Welcome everyone to SpinLikeABoss.com. I'm DJ Chance, and today's tutorial is going to focus on the next section. And today's tutorial is going to focus on the next pad mode for the 8 performance pads on this DJ controller. This particular model is the Pioneer DDJ-SX, as we've covered in the other tutorial. As you see, they're all highlighted in hotkeys. They're still highlighted in the hotkeys, which we covered in the last tutorial. So what we're going to do, we're going to focus on how the roll feature works with the 8 performance pads. Now, what the 8 performance pads do in the roll feature is that they're going to give you little loops when you touch them. As you see, they're not lit up. They only do it when you touch them. And you keep your finger on them. Once you take your finger off, the particular loop pattern or roll that you're doing is going to stop. So if you want, well, let's explain what each of these is. By default, they're going to come a certain way. Now, the pads are going to go in order to the... Now the pads are going to be in order from the shortest to the longest roll or loop. Now this one is set up already as a 32-beat loop. This is a 16-beat loop. This is 8-beat, 4-beat, 2-beat, 1-beat, half-beat, quarter-beat. Now with the parameter control here, you can actually switch those to go even further. You can get all the way down. See, now this is a 4-beat. This is 4 beats, 2 beats, 1 beat, half, quarter beat, 1/8 beat, 1/16, and 1/32 of a beat. So depending on how you set the parameters, and each time you click a parameter, it'll move the particular beat that you were trying to get, the particular beat loop you're trying to get. It'll move it over one pad. So now it's back at its default 62. Now it's back at its default 32, 16, 8, 4. You know, you get the idea. 2, 1, half, quarter. So if I move this over just one, because 32 beats, you may not want to loop that long. Maybe you do. You're doing a live remix. You're working on a mashup. You want a little piece of instrumental that you want to go with something else, that maybe the song only has a 32 beat part that you actually want to use as a loop. So again, here we go. We'll move the parameter buttons over. Generally what I do in my particular style, I generally go over more. I may have this as 8 and then 4, 2, 1, half, quarter, 1/8, and 1/16 beat. And that seems to work out pretty well for me, and a lot of DJs use that, especially in the house music, EDM. It works as well with hip-hop and reggae. Just about anything you're going to spin, electro, tribal, it's all going to work the same. Just going to give you little chop-ups. And let me give you a listen to what that sounds like, because I know it doesn't sound like something you may have heard before. Maybe you're brand new to the DJ world, and that's why you're here listening to these tutorials and watching and practicing every day. So let me give you a listen to what it is this is supposed to sound like. Let's get to my hot cue section here, and let's pick a pad. That's the closest one to my finger. Let's start there. Now I have a house beat here. Now remember the hot cues we covered. Alright, so let's select the roll feature. And this is what the roll is going to sound like. This is an 8th beat. So as you can see, if you've heard EDM DJs or dance music DJs, if you've been to a festival, an EDM festival of any kind, or even in some clubs, you're going to hear the DJs perform these types of sounds. And a lot of tracks themselves, by default, will actually have the sounds already in them. You'll hear some of your favorite songs will already have little rolls like that. And this is how you do it, and this is how you do it live. So And that's what the roll sounds like. As you can see, I changed my parameter in the middle because this is the way I like to have it set up in a particular way, depending on the genre of music, or if I want a little extra sound like this, I may want a little extra roll, so I'll go down one. And as you see, with the performance pad feature and the DJ controller, the song keeps playing underneath whatever you're rolling, so when you let go of that button, the song is going to start where it would have been had you not touched the pad to begin with. So if you're a little confused on what I just said there, again, the song will play when you hit the roll feature. As you saw, you heard the roll, you heard the and the song's still playing underneath that, and as soon as you let go of the button, it'll start right where it would have been had you just left it alone. So let's say I go to, let's go to my first pad. I'll start it from there. Alright, and if I check my next pad, which is this, we're in the hot cue mode now, and I'll go further in the song where there's the vocals so you can actually hear it a little differently. Alright, you hear the song, it's saying its words. So if I don't do anything, the song's just going to play. But that's boring. That's not what I'm here to teach you. I'm teaching you how to take your performance to the next level, because we don't want you to be just average, like any other average jock. We want you to actually utilize all the tools at your disposal when you have a DJ controller. So, the song is just playing underneath, and I'll do a roll. And that's what the roll does. You heard the track still, when you let go, it goes right into the next words or vocals or anything that was going on in the track underneath. If you're playing a tribal or just instrumental, it'd be the same thing. The instrumental will be playing underneath. We'll go back to the beginning. I went into hot cue mode. We'll just go into the beginning of the beat. And we can just have rolls with a beat. And you see now we got right to the breakdown because that's where it would have been anyway had you not done anything. So again, the rolls depends on where you want them. You adjust your parameters here so you can switch. You can do a nice long 8-beat loop. Nice little 4-beat one underneath. You see the track continue to play. Now here's a 4-beat loop. Maybe you like this certain part of the song, you like this phrase, so you want to keep this going for a minute. And these are excellent when you're taking this part of a song when there's no beat. This is a good build-up or good transition area for this particular track. You can keep it going. You know, and especially if it's a song that people get to know and really, really like. Especially if you're a resident DJ at a club and you're there every week and you play certain songs, which is inevitable as a DJ. You're going to be playing a lot of songs over and over, especially when they're favorites or big tracks. So you may want to build this up. You may want this to keep going. You know, everyone's going crazy. They're waiting for that beat to drop, and then you just let it go. And that's what we're doing. We're just going to do what we like right here on these performance pads. We're just going to... See, now we've got another breakdown. Now what's great with breakdowns is that you can do this same thing, even with the same track. Maybe you want to play with the drums on your hot cues, like we covered in the last tutorial. You might want to be in your other deck. Or maybe you'll want to, mix in another song here and have little loops going the same way, little rolls. Another thing that I wanted to discuss about the roll feature, whatever phrase of the song, whatever, if it's a snare drum, or if it's a bass drum, or it's a vocal, like what's playing right now, wherever you touch the pad, whatever it is you're touching on, like say, let's get a good sound. Here's a beat. Now say I hit the pad on a snare drum. Now the song is still playing underneath, as we already discussed. But as long as you don't take your finger off of the original pad, you can still roll this particular snare drum. Even if you wanted to go to a longer phrase. See, now I've made myself a little 4-beat loop as long as I'm holding on to the button. If I let go of the button, that particular portion of the song that I had the finger on, that snare, will now be gone, and this is going to be in a completely different section of the song. Watch. You see that? So if I want her vocal, let's go back a little. I'm just going to grab any vocal and roll it. So as you can hear, it's still on that vocal, whatever it is she's saying there. And as long as I don't take my finger off the pad, I can play with it. And as soon as I let go, it continues to where the track would have been had I not done that. Now the timing of that, of course, is very important. As I'm sitting here fooling around, it doesn't always drop on beat. So if you're doing something that's long, say you're messing around for 16 beats, 32 beats, you've always got to keep the timing in your mind of where that track is. Now the great thing about Serato, or Serato DJ is what this uses, is on your screen for your laptop, or your computer if you're doing it at home, if you're in your bedroom and you have it hooked up to a computer, on your screen there's going to be multicolor waveguides, and they show you track position, and which is great because if you're not real good at keeping time, you have a visual interpretation of where the song is on your screen, and that helps because sometimes it's very difficult, especially in a live setting. Maybe you're going crazy, your arms are all over the place. Maybe once you've mastered this whole tutorial, you're doing rolls and spin backs, and you're doing, all kinds of things. You're doing the effects section, which we're going to cover, and you're messing around with pitch controls, maybe your dual deck mode. You're just going nuts. You're having the performance of your life. And you've got the screen there to show you. There's a little arrow. It's kind of like the needle on a record, and it would show you exactly where you are. So in case you get a little overzealous and get a little too crazy, you can look at your screen. You may have done it, and I've seen this happen with DJs where they're performing so well, like here at the end of a track, and the track is about to be over. Now if we were to say want to chop this up and keep this going, let's say now I'm looking at my screen, the track is completely over, so when I let go, as you see, there's nothing there. So having the keyboard, having the actual monitor in front of you on your laptop or your computer screen gives you the great visual interpretation, and we're going to cover that in another tutorial. So that's it for today. The loop feature, how to adjust its parameters, how to just take it up and slice it up, and that's your rolls. So come to the next. We'll see you in the next tutorial for SpinLikeABoss.com for the DJ controller. I'm DJ Chance. I'll see you soon.